Hello, I'm Ann Laurent, founder of The Agile Mind, a blog about virtual government. Today, I'd like to introduce you to a series of video podcasts that I've created to explain how federal agencies are getting a foothold in virtual worlds, in this case, in Second Life. I'm about to introduce you to probably the most unlikely trio of characters to be found in a virtual world ever. But they are dedicated civil servants, and they are about to begin telling you the story of how they found themselves as avatars in a virtual world, and how their institution, the Information Resources Management College at the National Defense University, also here in Washington, set up its own buildings on its own land in a virtual world. I hope you'll come back and join me for the rest of these fascinating podcasts.
I'm Paulette Robinson. I'm the Assistant Dean for Teaching, Learning, and Technology in the Information Resources Management College here at NDU. I'm the creator with these other two gentlemen of the Federal Consortium for Virtual Worlds.
Hi, I'm Mike Miller. I'm the coordinator for experiential learning at the college, and I run this lab that we're in now is the Innovations and Simulations Lab, which also serves as the hub for our virtual world effort.
And I'm Dwight Taves. I'm a professor here, and I've been interested in virtual worlds for about 15 years, and I've been playing around with them since about 98, 99.
We started exploring what was possible for virtual worlds, and Second Life became the most prominent and easy low-level entry piece. So we decided we'd buy an island, give it a shot. I remember our business manager say, well, are you sure we won't end up in the Washington Post if you're going to buy an island? And I said, digital island?
First problem that you have is try to convey a concept to them of what a virtual world is and why one might even be interested in something like this. That becomes I think the chief obstacle that you run into right off the bat is lack of knowledge, and if they don't know about it, in many cases, they're not interested in it. They're not interested in wasting their time finding out about something like this. The initial idea was to keep it small, build much of it ourselves, and buy things from other people who already have those kinds of things, and buy some stuff for people to play around. There's airplanes in there, there's submarines that you can use, all kinds of interesting little gadgets in various places that would hook somebody into experimenting with this.
We were going to buy 3 islands, and eventually, I think that's what we had to go for an RFP. Well, went through contracting, the approved proposal went forward to Second Life, which had the FAR regulations about acquisition, most of which apply for $100,000 and above. Second Life got it and said, we're not going to read the language, we're not going to give you an island. I said, what? What kind of business practice is that? And they wouldn't even talk to us. And our business manager, of course, said, we were going back and forth with them for like 6 weeks or longer. And we had to spend the money. And the business manager finally wrote him a nastygram saying, I don't understand what your problem is. We are required to put the FAR regulations on these purchase orders. We have no choice. And Dwight wrote him a long email and let him know, well, you don't have to be so concerned about this. If you'll look at the language, it's $100,000 or more. We're not even close to that.
And the response from the general counsel is, we don't have time to fool around with this kind of stuff.
They wouldn't even read it. They wouldn't even read it.
They had the contract in front of them. All they had to do is sign it, and what had happened?
I think it was like $8,000, $7,000 or $8,000. I mean, it was like this huge amount of money because we were just going to start. We were going to give each department an island, and we'd have a little welcome center, and then the people could play. And so we spent almost a year trying to get an island. It was just so frustrating. So we finally decided in the next year we were going to buy one island it was under an impact card. So you can get an island at an educational or nonprofit rate with the maintenance fee. The island, the maintenance fee for the year is it cuts in half, and you can get an island. So we had our island in, what was it, January, February of this year. We created the 3 buildings, and they were all completed at the end of March. So they were ready for us to launch for the April conference on virtual worlds. We decided, pretty much when these were just about done, to make this available for all of government. So it's a government center now. There's some constraints with Second Life that make it a little hard about meetings. On one island, you can only really res 60 people. After that, then it gets too.
Only 60 avatars can be there at a time, or performance will be great. So
you can see them, or the other parts of it becomes clear. So we decided we needed an auditorium. So if you put together 4 islands in Second Life, you can put an auditorium around the 4 intersections, so you get the advantage of 60, 60, 60, 60, so you can get basically 240. We went out for a second contract. What we did was we modded our first one. We had enough time to mod it so that we could actually modify it, so we could actually create the auditorium and didn't have to go out for a new RFP process. It's actually created, and it's sitting, what,
600 meters.
600 meters above the island. Because we're waiting for the other 3 islands to be delivered. First of all, they go through the rules that are just incredible. Okay, you can't do a sole source. We have to go out for bid to see if anybody else can give us a Second Life island that's adjacent to your others. Well, there's only one place that can do that, and that's Second Life. So they put it up for 30 days to see if anybody responded. Nobody did. So then, and Second Life didn't respond because that's not how they work. So we had to say, okay, we need to have an invoice from you guys. Okay, so we'll get it. You can only buy land with a credit card.
The credit card limit is $3,000.
And this was for 3 islands. It was almost 8, little over 8.
Yeah, with maintenance, it's close to 8,000.
And so now, we have a credit card on the university that's over 8,000, over 3,000, but it only can be used for certain purposes. So we're trying to make the case.
And training is one of those purposes. So we have to see how this is used for training, which is, I don't know. We're a university. We're not teaching soldiers to shoot a gun or to, So, but we do train our faculty to use this tool. So anyway, we're going back and forth right now.
Eric has a $30,000 card. So he has access to one that's much larger. He has purchasing capabilities that are beyond what we have in terms of just going out and purchasing something. Certainly he has to get approvals by his supervisors, but when he does get those approvals, he doesn't have to go through quite the process that we have to go here. So it made it simpler. He's also at NOAA set up this capability of anybody can go in and use them as a vehicle to purchase virtual world capabilities. So they do the contracting process there, and it's a small percentage. Another place to go is OPM. To do that, you have to have your own contracting organization in your agency willing to let you do that, but they're set up to do economies of scale and use expertise. They charge 9%. For all the overhead, but they already have 10 primary contractors, and each of those have subcontractors. I know, so you can go to OPM and you can, they will do all the vetting for you, and and they will even help you write the statement of work, which we have to do all that here because no one has any expertise besides us. So they have a lot of that put in place. Eric's place, I don't know if they write the statement of work, but they have a vehicle for doing the funding and contracting, which can help to bypass your own contracting office when they don't have expertise. But there has to be some kind of trade-off, because you can MIPR the money, so you can actually send the money easily to these particular, they're set up as approved within the federal government to handle these, so it works pretty well.